Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My spouse and I, back in July of 2021, we purchased an investment property and we put a $100,000 deposit down. And that was when the COVID interest rates had gone right down. And in Canada, they're right back up. I don't know how it is in the States, but we're looking at our closing date coming up in 2 months, and we don't know if we can afford this.
Was the financing already approved?
No. So we did sit down with our bank, and essentially, I think if we sold our current home, we would be able to get the mortgage. But my predicament is that even if we do get approved for a mortgage, we're looking at a $5,000 plus mortgage per month. And we've been looking at different avenues, potentially renting, but in that area, the likelihood of someone renting over $3,500 is very slim. And so we would still be having money coming out of our pocket. And now the reason we're thinking about doing a mutual release at this point is because we put that $100,000 down, but we did really well with our first home through COVID. We bought it really low, and then when we sold, we had actually got a lot of equity and paid off that line of credit that we used to put the deposit down on that home. And I just don't know if it's worth it to jeopardize and try and push this mortgage through. Also, my spouse is military, so he's currently posted to where we are, and I don't even know how the moving predicament would work.
So have you guys been building for that long?
Yeah, the builder was very delayed. Through COVID, they stopped a lot of the building, and it's been ongoing for a long time.
Okay, was it a custom build, or was it one that was within a development and you pick a floor plan kind of thing?
It was in a development.
Okay.
What does the contract say? Because you signed the purchase agreement. Have you talked to the builder about what it would look like to back out?
So we did ask them about a mutual release. Essentially, if we did back out, we would be forfeiting our $100,000 deposit.
Yeah. So that would be sort of the stupid tax, I guess.
Yeah, and
how
much would the full mortgage be if you did go forward? I'm just curious how much the house is.
We originally purchased for about 1.1, and with $100,000, it would be about $1 million mortgage.
Okay.
So you're going to put nothing down?
Well, if we were looking at the option of renting, if we sold our current house, we have enough equity that we could probably get the mortgage down to about $700,000.
Why wouldn't you sell your current house?
My husband's military and he's posted here, so it would be so many loopholes and jump throughs. Like, he might not even be able to move, so we might have to.
But then why were you getting this new house?
Because we didn't realize that he would be posted out at that time. We were posted to that base. And so this was back in 21. This is about 3 years later now. So, and also too, we thought with the interest rates, honestly, we weren't thinking ahead. With the interest rates at that point, it was affordable.
Right. Haley, how are you guys financially overall? Do you have savings? Do you guys have debt?
Our debt is paid. Like, we don't really have any debt. We have some equity in our home. My husband's military serving right now. He makes about $80K a year. I've retired from the military. I got injured. I'm getting an income replacement benefit of about $50K a year. So total income is about $130,000.
Okay. Do you guys have money saved?
Other than whatever we have in equity, no.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how big this $100,000.
I don't see a world where you guys could have afforded $1 million home, regardless of what interest rates were doing. I think you guys weren't thinking through this and got a little starry-eyed at what a new build would be. And life happened.
I agree. And
you cannot keep both. There's no world where you keep both of these properties.
Absolutely.
So if you're going to make this move and not lose your $100,000, you need to sell the property, save up as much as you can until this build is done, and minimize the mortgage as much as possible. And you might not even be able to stay in it that long. Because it sounds like it's unsustainable. You guys barely make $5,000 a month.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, I don't think you guys can do it. I don't think you can.
What's your mortgage now?
My mortgage, well, they just increased it because we had a variable rate. It's about $3,000. It was.
You're barely covering the mortgage now. What's the take-home pay?
I'm sorry?
What's your take-home pay every month between you and your husband?
Gosh. I don't even know. My husband does the finances, So
My guess is
between
about
us, like-
$6,000, and half of it is taken up by your mortgage.
Yeah, net it would probably be around there. And I'm more on the side of mutually releasing. It doesn't immediately affect us. With regards to losing $100,000, it sucks. But I just wanted, I guess, your advice and kind of clarification on that before I move ahead. I mean, it is a lot of money and it is a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, almost, I would.
I don't think you have an option.
I was
think
gonna
you
say,
have
I
to
would-
release it and lose
yeah.
$100K.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a better option than going into $1 million house that you guys can't afford the mortgage. That the mortgage payment is basically what you're bringing in every month. I mean,
You'd foreclose on it within months.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
I know, and we have children. I don't want to jeopardize that.
Yeah.
Like, his parents have offered because they have multiple properties, offered to sell one of their properties, but at the same time, we don't want to.
No, yeah.
We don't want to be indebted to them.
That's right. No. I would keep this clean. I think this is a decision. Was the $100,000, was it cash, Haley, or did you guys take out a loan for that?
So we did it originally on our first residence that we had purchased. It was our first home, and we had purchased it for about $500,000. And then when we sold for $9 million. But we had taken out a home equity line of credit, but that is paid off. There's no debt owing towards that.
Okay, so the $100,000, it'll just be gone. It's not debt that you have to repay.
No. So
Okay.
my husband just told me, he said our income is $89.07 per month.
Okay, that's better
Yes.
for your
so
$3,000
that's
mortgage.
net.
So that's net. So that's a third of your take-home pay, which is a lot,
Yeah.
but it's not going to crush you financially. So I would just stay put where you are and mutually release this, lose the $100K, and learn from it.
Yeah, it's a tough learning lesson, but I definitely needed to hear that, so I appreciate your help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry you're going through it. That's not a fun thing to deal with. And for anyone watching out there who's military or they move around a lot, this is why we tell people it's okay to rent. It's okay to stay put. Don't feel like you have to go get a house because people are telling you got to get a house, you got to get a house. And
Yeah.
obviously their situation's different, but it's one of the risks you take.
For sure.
With new builds, with mortgages, you don't know where you're going to end up and what life is going to be like. And
that's one reason, our house purchasing formula at Ramsey is pretty conservative and people, they don't like it very often. But this is one of the reasons why, too, is like we just know life happens. And if so much of your income is being taken up by your mortgage or what you think life will be like when you're doing a build that's 2, 3, 4 years long, you just have to be realistic about it. And so, and also, too, I think when you have information and you have facts, you're able to make wiser decisions. And so that's one thing, too. And this isn't to, harp on Haley by any means, but she was like, I'm not sure my husband takes care of the finances, which happens a lot too in families. But if you're married, you guys, you together need to be making these decisions, meaning both of you need to know the facts, both of you, because you both bring a perspective to the table, right? Haley could have, if she, maybe
she knew
had
what was
more
going
information, she could have said something that maybe would have directed a different decision. I mean, I don't know, but that's why it's important that's the beautiful thing about being married is that you have two people in these big decision-making processes, but you both have to have the facts and understand what's going on. And then sometimes you make a decision and you pay the stupid tax, which is what we say, but we'd rather do that, honestly, than go into $1 million home that the mortgage is eating up close to 75% of their income. So I'm glad you guys called, Haley. Good luck. And again, I'm so sorry. So sorry this is the situation.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.